Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your Fire Elemental bonus reading for the month of August of 2026. If you are a Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, then this message is for you. How I like to do my bonus readings is to use a variation of the Celtic cross. I feel like that gives us a good insight into what's energies are moving around and carrying on, and then we'll look at a couple of oracle cards just to get a little more clarification as we go. And if you've never had your charts read, there is a natal chart in the description. That one is not an affiliate link. It's just a really useful tool that I have found, and it made it convenient, so it's right down there in the description. You can check it out, and it gives you your base 12 houses with all the little signs and symbols, and then there's a 10 to 20 page description of what all that is. And if you're like me and kind of a little bit of a paper person, they have a printed out version that you can order, or you can do an online one, a digital one as well. I like the paper ones just because then I can write on them if I want to. But I am just finishing shuffling your cards for our reading, and then we will get going. If you see something different in the cards than what I bring forward, feel free to leave it in the comments. I read intuitively, so it's always interesting to hear what other people's intuition brings forward. With that, we will get started. Sorry for all the rambling. And fire, your significator, so this is the totality of who you are in this little snapshot of time, is the Fortune's Wheel, or the Wheel card, which is number 10 in the tarot. And this card is really saying there is a cycle that is moving with you right now. You're in the middle of an up or a down, but it's the energy I'm feeling is like you've been here before. This is a familiar thing. This is not something completely new, although it's new in the fact that you're not sure what the outcome of this version is going to be. And when I look at the Wheel of Fortune, I don't look at it as a wheel, I look at it as a spiral. So every time you do come back to the same point, you're coming back to it at a higher frequency. So it's like there's a little bit different of a lesson, and once you learn the lessons, then that little chink gets taken out and you don't have to worry about it anymore. But overall, I'm feeling that this is a good opportunity time for you. There's a lot of things in motion, and like luck is on your side, so that's always a good sign. But understand, as things go up, things come down. The luck you're feeling right now is not a permanent fixture. This is for the moment, and then, as all things do, they have to have their little valleys. But the energy that's crossing you is the Nine of Swords. I feel like this is you're being a little hard on yourself, Fire. There's this energy of, I can't believe I did that. Why was this happening? I've lost so many things along the way. And it's Fire, the energy that's coming in is saying you feel like you blame yourself for things that have happened. And that's being air, swords are air. It's an illusion. It's not actually what happened. It's the perception of it in the moment, yes. But is that the totality of what happened? I feel like there is whatever's going on here that's also leading to your success, but it's also a challenge in the illusionary sense, is something that it's almost like you knew it wasn't supposed to go the way it did, and so you chose to try to intervene to redirect it. It still went the way you didn't want it to go, so you feel like you failed in that respect. That's not exactly how this is coming through, though. That happened because you needed it to happen to move forward for you. Yeah, the other person, it feels like, was there for a moment, and yes, it does hurt when someone else is, something happens. And I feel like this wasn't like physical. I think it was more of an emotional thing. But they were there in that moment, and that was their soul's mission, was to help you redirect. And the energy I'm getting is, don't carry that guilt with you. It's not yours. This was for a purpose, and now that that purpose is completed, time to move forward. So hopefully that resonates for you, Fire. Your higher self energy is number 6, the Lovers. This is that union of opposites, fire and water. Got some sandhill cranes over here. You got the Pisces goldfish down here. But it's the energy of joining. It's the energy of coming together, of reuniting. And that could tie into this energy that's crossing you as well, as like there's something that had to be removed so that you could reunite, connect, or take something to a deeper level. Your higher self is really wanting you to understand that when you are able to merge opposites, water with fire, earth with air, this is when creation occurs. Transmutation occurs when you, if in alchemy, when you can merge opposing energies. It's risky, it's always has a degree of chaos going with it, but when it happens, the Philosopher's Stone is born, and that's the energy that's coming in here with the Lovers. Is you are being brought to this point, fire, where it's time to create, to unify with your opposite, and that could be to take your guilt and your courage and figure out how to balance them. It could be the shame and the pride, bring them together, but it's something that has to be brought together again with that Wheel of Fortune energy to combine it and change it into something better, more pure, more uplifting. God Source can work with you, your guides and guardians are there, but that's the vibe I'm getting for this month of August. So your shadow is the Six of Swords, and this is like a returning victorious from something. So your shadow is saying, you've done this before, or fire, there's no reason to stress over this. Again with the swords, but this is saying, it's like, look back, think to your memory. According to this, you've done this 6 times before, and you've done it to show the next generation, little baby dragon up there, that it's possible to do. So what's going on with this crossing energy is really the illusion of failure, but it's not the reality. Your shadow's saying, what are you toting that thing around for? Look what you've done. You've already accomplished this. And your shadow being that supportive is actually kind of fun, because when you look at your middle pillar here, your higher self, if I can get these lined up, your higher self is saying, merge the opposites, bring it together, fix it, transmute it, uplift it. You're in the energy of movement, and like I said, good luck, because you're on the upswing here, because your shadow is saying, you've already done all this. Why are you rehashing this? Let it go. And it's not so much, it's like I said, it's kind of more of a tap on the shoulder type energy, fire, saying you don't need to worry about this anymore. Let it go. Whatever the situation is, there's something that you're feeling guilt, shame, or otherwise for something in the past, but everyone else is like, what are you talking about? That's not how that happened. And these are people who are involved. That's where that illusion comes in. And that's where you kind of have to break it, but that's your obstacle for the month. Your immediate history, the last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, is number 14, Temperance card. Sorry, can't remember my Roman numerals. Temperance is about finding balance. It's about coming to an understanding, tempering something, taking the heat out of it, but warming it up at the same time, so you're bringing it into a neutral state. And so this last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, you've been neutralizing. You've been coming into a different form of balance. You've been cleaning things up, which has led you to this good luck period you're in now. But your shadow, or your crossing energy is the challenge. It's saying that there's something there that you're feeling guilt or shame for, but your history is saying you have worked through so much. Why are you letting this be your tripper? Why are you letting this be the thing that takes you out? Like, you've done all these things, you've succeeded, you have found a new balance, which is your new foundation to move on from, fire. So why are you dragging around the stuff from the past? That's kind of the message I'm getting here. Your immediate future is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very fertile queen. She has a lot of eggs there. And so this is your future. You have a very fertile future. There's a lot of joy involved. Is that rabbit crying? No. Looks like that guy was crying. He's not. But you have a lot of joy involved. There's a lot of hope here. And that's the beauty of the Wheel of Fortune, is you're coming up. You're going on the upswing. There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of excitement. Things are coming together. And that's what this Divine Queen is coming in, the Divine Feminine. She's saying, you know what? You've done so much build-up. You've got so many things going. Now it's time to plant your seeds for the future. In the present, you know you're having the good luck. Things are moving well. Whatever you plant now is what your next 1 month, 6 months, or a year is going to bring into fruition. That's this energy of the future, is this Queen of Earth. It's a very grounded energy. It's very stable. She's very nurturing. But she's also pointing out that when you plant seeds in this type of soil, in Gaia's very fertile soil, you're gonna get the results. So make sure you're planting the right things. So our attitude, so this is your inner world, the inner thinking, the kind of your mindset in the moment, is the Nine of Wands. Fire, this is your energy, and I'm feeling like it feels like you've been at war with yourself or at war with somebody, and you're coming out victorious, but you're always ready for the next battle. You're always ready for that next challenge. You know it's coming, and you're just going to be ready to deal with it. That's fine and dandy, but that's really not necessary. Like, in your inner world it doesn't need to be always looking for the next battle and looking for the next fight. But that's kind of the energy I'm getting here. You're getting close to the end of a cycle, which is your Wheel of Fortune again. So you know that this is not a permanent thing, but it's going to take a little bit to shake this energy of, well, I've had to be in this state of aggression, of stress, of preparedness for so long that how am I going to let it go? And that's fine. That's what your angels and God source are for, and maybe even a physical therapist as well. But it's there to help release that. It's not a permanent position. This energy that I'm feeling is not meant to stay. It's meant to be a passing thing. And that's the reminder to you that yes, because you've had to do that in the past, that's fine, but you don't have to carry it forward into the future. The outside world, this is the environment you live in, the things that are outside of your control but do have an influence on you. We have the Page of Cups. So your opposite here, as the water, is also calling in these illusions. Like he's fascinated by his little illusion. You got the illusion over here of the mirrored cup. And with the environment, it's saying, you get to pick which world. Are you going to pick the illusionary world? Or are you going to pick the physical one? Are you going to pick the daydreams? Or are you going to pick the actual path? The actual path requires some work, but in your outer environment, this really isn't a big thing to you. You're kind of excited by it, like, let's get this over with. But the outside world is saying, hold up, I'm going to show you all these other illusions. So you have to use your inner guidance, your intuition, to be able to select the correct path forward. But Fire, I think you've got this. I don't feel a big challenge here. It may be a little emotional to pick this, but I don't feel like you're going to have a problem. I feel like you're going to get this one pretty easy. Your hopes and fears. So this is things that could be going good going bad. This card always confuses me. Sorry, I've got it in several decks, so it's, obviously tarot decks. It's the Three of Swords, but this one is always so intense and passionate. Your hope is that you've done the right thing, that you have, with this illusionary crossing energy of past challenges and shame that you feel, or guilt, or could have done betters, you feel like this is the fear is that you didn't do the right thing, that you're worried about what could have happened. It's almost like your heart's being torn out of your chest, that you've torn your own heart out of your chest. But the hope is, I did what I needed to do to remove the negative side of me. Just because he's carrying a heart doesn't mean it's a healthy one. It could be the sick one that was taken out and you put a fresh one in. And the swords were there to help ease that transition. So it's not the hope is that this was done for the right reasons, and it's actually going to be healing. Sometimes you have to take some, you have to cut some stuff away to make it healthy. But that's the vibe I'm getting from this reading right now, is everything that's going on, you're on the upswing because you've had to deal with so much in the past. But the reason you had to deal with it is to open the doors. The doors wouldn't have opened if you were still in the same grumpy Gus or injured or wounded position. But now that that's been cleaned up, and even if it's only halfway there for you, the doors are opening because you're doing the work. You're preparing yourself, and that's this energy that's coming in here. So the conclusion, the final outcome, whatever you want to call it, we have the Seven of Cups. This is your future. If you dream it, if you speak it, if you look into it, you can manifest it. You can put whatever you want in these cups in this dream, and you can bring it into fruition. I'm really feeling drawn for you, Fire, this Phoenix. You have risen from your own ashes. You've had to burn away the stuff that doesn't work, and you've been reborn. And this reading is saying, don't forget how far you've come. And I don't care if you just started your spiritual journey, if you've been doing it for 40 years. Don't forget how far you've come. Because every time you've had an up or a down, there's been a lesson there that has led you forward. There's been a lesson there that has guided you into the next discovery. So you're not in a one and done situation here. You're very much so in a growth cycle. And it's a cycle that you've been working towards. Even if you forgot where you were headed in the first place, because that happens to some of us, you know that you're further ahead than where you would have been. And this is where you get to look back in your journals and be like, oh yeah, no, I actually did work that through. That's why I was doing that. I couldn't remember. So those are all important aspects. But fire, I'm really seeing a positive outcome from this. There's a lot of breaking illusions that I'm seeing here. And there's also a lot of, well, that's interesting way of putting it, a lot of personal accountability I keep hearing from my guides, so we'll use that word. Because you know that you're further along than you let yourself believe, but you're also nervous about the next steps. And I'll tell you a secret, fire, that just means you're human. So, before we hop into the oracle cards, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and again, comment, let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions, and if you see something different with the cards, be my guest to let me know. I always like hearing from people. With the oracle cards, if you have a specific question in mind, go ahead and pause, and we'll see if the answer comes through. Otherwise, you can listen. It could be clarification for the reading or just some other messages that Source wants to bring forward. So your first card is number 59, the Wailing Tree with reconciliations. This is that energy of coming together, of solving a problem, of taking accountability and apologizing. This is the energy that's coming in here, and that also ties in, weirdly enough, to the Lover's card, because when you bring the opposites into union, you create. The Wailing Tree and reconciliation is saying unify, bring things together, fix the problem, and see what kind of amazing creation you can actually call forth. There may be some interesting phrase, wailing and gnashing of teeth with that, because growth and birth are not always rainbows and butterflies and unicorn farts. They're intense. If you've asked any woman who's had a baby, the baby's great. There's that period from being pregnant to baby that's not so great. And that's the wailing part, where yes, you're going to have to go through some growth pains. You're still going to have to go through some birthing process. But once you do, that reconciliation, that bringing everything back together, that's where you see the fruit was actually worth it. In the moment, you don't think so. Fully aware. But after the fact, you do it again 100 times to have that outcome again. And that's the energy that I'm getting here from the number 59. Your second card is number 40 with mindful or group think. This is a warning card is what I'm hearing. And when I say that, it's saying don't get wrapped up in the group think. Fill your mind with the positive. Fill your mind with the joy, the outcome, the mission that you're on. Where are you headed? What goals do you have? Fill your mind with that. Do not do this. The group think in most situations is toxic. It's not healthy. It's not beneficial to anybody. And so when it comes up, it's trying to tell you, no, follow us. We are all miserable. Watch this. Hear this. This is misery. And misery loves company. Get them out of here. That's that mindful part. When you fill your mind with the beauty and the joy of existence, you don't have time for the group think because you've got other things going on in your head. And fire, that's what I'm feeling for you, is you are in this really positive upswing, but it's because you've changed how you're looking at things. Don't let the group think drag you back into your shadowy, illusionary shame, because there's no purpose for that anymore. And again, when you forgive yourself from that stuff, it frees you from the emotional guilt. You'll still have the lesson. We always need those. But you don't have to carry that nonsense with you anymore. Your final oracle card is number 20, the Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. That sounds fun. You're the one who creates your world. Fire, it doesn't matter what anyone else tells you. It does not matter what anyone else does. You are the one that creates. What choices are you making today? Are you choosing to fill your mind with the joys of life? Are you choosing to reconcile those situations, to bring them into unity again, where you become a whole person? Because you're making those choices, your future's looking great. If you're making other choices, it's time to weigh them on the scale of truth and lies and find out which one works. Because if it's not a truth and you still choose it, consequences. And then you get to figure out what that means downstream. But what I'm really feeling for you is, Fire, you're in a good spot. There's been a lot of work that's been done. There's a lot of work going forward to do. work that you've actually been excited about because you've been planning for this. But with that mindful, I keep going back to this energy is fill your mind with a positive, fill your mind with God's source, fill your mind with your guides and guardians so that your entire focus is on God's source, your physical partner if you're in a relationship, the things that are important to you that hold value, bring those into your mind. Don't have room for the petty stuff. Don't let room for the negative, especially like if you watch anything on the mainstream anymore. Just observe it and be like, cool, I can turn this off and push the button, because your mind is so full of the positive, the growth, the spiritual, that you don't need that other stuff anymore. You can observe it, see what's going on. That's cool. It stays over there because there's no room for it anymore. You've literally moved it out, and that means you're actually in a healthier spot. So fire. Hopefully this resonates for you, and if so, like I said, let me know in the comments. Other than that, I will see you in the next video.